So hi guys, how are we all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinyere of Gillette Style Glam. If this is your first time here with me, thank you so much for being here. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, you are so welcome. So before I jump into anything, I'm just getting out of a bad cold. If you can hear from my voice, it's still a little bit shaky. It's been hell. I can't even say exactly what happened. Let me not lie, but it was so sudden. It was so unexpected. And it was just overnight. There was no sign. I had no signal, nothing. It just came boom like that. What I can tell you though is that 1 minute we were enjoying the sunshine, 15-degree weather, and the next day we were at -1, -2. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Anyway, I'm glad to see you guys. I'm glad to be here. You can see, if you look at my face, you can see I'm quite tired. I swear. Anyway, how are you guys doing? So today, I'm going to be talking on my segment of my take. As many of us know, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, had her show which aired on Netflix about a week ago. These are the things I had prepared to talk about. Now I have my take, so I'm going to talk about quite a bit of things because I was actually taken aback when I was listening to people on social media saying very horrible things about the show. Now, mind you, sometimes it's also very important, and this happens a lot, where you've not seen something and then you're already getting reviews and things about it, and then when you watch it you have a totally different perspective about it. So I told myself, I was very clear, I just didn't want to listen to anyone's opinion on it. I waited until I was able to watch for myself, and I watched all episodes of it. And so, it's actually, for me, I would lie, I'm taken aback with even the parodies that are being made about her, and I don't even understand why, right? Because anyway, like I said, my take. So let's start from the beginning. From some of the comments I heard, or some of the reviews I heard, the people talked about what she had with florals, what she had with fruits, so I'm going to take it one by one, right? My take. So first of all, what was the issue with florals? If anything, truthfully, I learned so much from that show. I learned quite a bit of stuff from her show. Now, I used to host before, and I stopped. I hated it after one particular incident that happened, and I decided I was done with hosting. And now, watching the attention to details that she put up for a friend of hers who was coming to stay over at her house, that was very thoughtful, in my opinion, my take, right? So the floral touch is something I love flowers, right? Not from my husband to give to me as a present, but I love flowers. I love nature, right? If I go out and I see beautiful flowers, I take pictures of them. I take pictures of insects. I'm like that person. So when I saw her put lavenders and, little daffodils on her arrangements, I was like, this is great, and it's just the little things, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And that is something I learned. And now one of the reasons also I'm into the floral thing, because I am developing my perfume senses. Don't worry, I'm coming with a video on that. I'm coming with a video on that. I don't want to deviate. I don't want to digress. So that's one of it. And I'm like, okay, because in parts of France, if you visited France before, there are actually places that actually have lavender, and it's the most magical thing. You have to beware of bees though, because this is their season. If you remember in Emily in Paris, when they went to the chateau, they were in the bushes, and I can't remember the name of that city. And then Sophie and Antoine were attacked by bees. Lavender, come on. I think lavender is I'm actually wearing a lavender perfume right now, because I'm just doing a 360. Don't worry, I'm going to come to you guys with my perfume obsession right now. Okay, so I didn't see anything wrong. In fact, for me, the florals were amazing. Were an amazing touch to everything, and they were real flowers. Then I also have a question. Isn't it normal for Meghan to have been awkward or feel awkward? Personally, I think yes. Okay, this is a girl that has had the world come at her because she decided that she wanted to separate from everyone of the royal family. This is someone who did that. And it was not long before the blame was poured on her, as always in our society. No one ever thought of the fact that, okay, maybe why is it not, don't you think maybe Harry is the one who made this decision and not Meghan to get out, of his family and be, separated from them? I mean, let's think here, right? And so she came out from that. They had their first show, their second show. It didn't do well. I imagine myself, and this is me imagining myself on a new job, right? I'd lost the first one, lost the second one for so many reasons. And, now I'm on a third one, on a fourth one even. And everything I'm doing is I'm trying to be careful that I don't, make mistakes. And I think she's a human being for that. And my take here is that the fact that we open our mouth and said she's unrelatable, I feel a little bit bad, because let's put each and every one of us, each of ourselves in that position. Let us all imagine the first day we all decided to film on YouTube. We were clumsy. If you go look at my old YouTube channels, videos, you would definitely say a million and one things were wrong with me. Until now, I still don't have it. I still don't got it together, right? So I'm sorry, but in a world where we live in, we are all supposed to be, we are creators, right? And in being creators, I think, sometimes we'll say, oh, it's about the views, but come on, that is bullying. My take, right? I call it bullying, And I would say that I think it's important that we allow Meghan. It's okay. Let Meghan be formed into this new self she is becoming. Remember, she was once an actress. She was an actor. And for whatever reason, listen, no matter what, right? She knows that despite being away from the royal family, for her, I believe, my opinion anyway, I believe that she still knows that she has a sense of responsibility towards the name of the royal family. Again, she wants to bear the name Sussex, right? So I think she also feels that she has to, have a bit of responsibility for that name and towards that name. And I'm going to come back to that name again, right? So then we also I also heard people talking about the fact that she opened a pack of, crackers and put them in a bag. Come on. Listen, we have content creators. I'm talking about one of the ones I love, Nikki of Clean Talk, and she's also on YouTube here, right? And we have creators who do that. We spend hours watching Nikki, right? Go shopping, clean her home, pack things in her fridge, in her freezer, clean it up. We watch her do it systematically. And most of the comments there are all comments of, oh, amazing, oh, this, oh, that, and the third. So, what did Meghan do wrong? It's the same thing, a million and one creators who are into packing stuff or, organization. That's what they do. They do the same thing. And this is just what she decided to do because her friend was coming over. What the hell was wrong with that? I don't know, because again, like I said, this is bullying. This is picking on her. This is different voices picking on her. And I still don't get it. I am not here particularly, I'm not here trying to create an army or some. No, I'm just saying it as it is. That's picking on her. I could have chosen not to watch that show. You guys, my voice. Oh God, I feel like I have three voices all at once. I could have chosen not to watch it, but I did because I wanted to watch it. And so if you all watched it because you needed to say something that was negative, then why did you watch it? I don't know. This is just me, my take, right? And then we also talk about the fact that, again, personally, I learned stuff. My flower arrangements, right, stopped at using a foam because I remember at one point in my life I was going through, knowing how to arrange flowers and stuff like that, and it's all for me was about using a foam, and I saw her use something that was totally different. I learned that. I mean, it cannot be negative. I learned something about flower arrangement from her, and mind you, she's doing all this herself. Okay, she created a balloon archway herself. She did all those things herself. It may not be as crazy as you or as well furnished or well done as you would want from a professional, but again, she did it. And which brings me back to something that I feel so sad about. Because you see, when we go out online and we say things like this, many of us forget that there is actually a story there. In the episode where she did with Mindy, I felt so bad. I felt so sad watching her and Harry have a birthday, their daughter's birthday. And it was just Meghan, Harry, her mom, and the baby. And many of us have had the goodness and the bon chance of being surrounded by our family and our friends when we are having our birthdays, right from when we're kids till now. Many of us have had that beautiful opportunity, that memory, right? And this is a girl whose only side of the family that she has anything to do with is her mom. And again, think about the fact that Harry has also lost his family. They are not going to come to the US and see him. He has to always go. And when he goes, he can't stay more than a day or two and he's out. And that part of that that particular scene touched me greatly. And so I think that while we're here bashing Meghan, it's imperative that we look at her and understand that she's also going through stuff. And she's a person too. She's a human being as well. Right? And that she needs all the encouragement. And I love that for her. And I love the fact that Harry is there for her. And I want to say something as well. Maybe they precipitated out of the royal family too soon for her to have the kind of presence Harry has. But once Harry walks into a room, Harry commands that room. He controls it. And this has spanned from years of being trained, right, in the royal family. Top-notch training, PR and all that, public speaking, he's got it. Remember that the only place we ever saw Meghan was on a series, Suits. So also know and understand that her pedigree and his are not the same. And she is on this learning curve every day of her life. She has been on this learning curve. She is still on the learning curve. And, like I said, it pains me that we had to, my hair. It pains me that we had to, go that far in the reviews and the opinions given about this show. Because in all honesty, I want to see another one. I want to see another season. I mean, this one I think she did was for spring, summer. So I think another season will be coming up for autumn. She has a right to live. She has a right to thrive. I mean, it's one thing for her to be married to Harry. It's another thing for her not to have a source of livelihood. That is not fair. She is allowed to thrive. Let her thrive. Allow her. It's important. She needs to do it, right? Now, for some reason, the internet and the world at large believes that Meghan is code switching. Like I said, I'll still go back to what I said about being awkward and that she's awkward and it's okay, right? It's normal that she would be that way, right? That's all I'm saying. It's okay and it's normal and we shouldn't crucify her for it in any way, shape or form. She shouldn't be crucified for it, right? Now, you see, just like I said, in one of my notes, I said, with a family that hates you, who needs enemies? And that's what Meghan is leaving. She's leaving that because the only person she has is her husband, the kids, and her mom. Every other person is an enemy within, right? So I think I believe that we should cut her some slack. It's important. She should be cut some slack. Then we also had people who complained about her dress choices and the colors. We are all looking for neutrals and this and that and that and that and that, the third. Again, remember that while she was in the royal family, she was going through some form of training and how to dress. And these are things we could say are new to her. We could say they are not new to her because even while she was filming, when she was in the series Suits, most of the colors she wore were usually androgynous or, basic neutrals. And I loved them. We don't get to find, I live in France, right? Most times before you get to the store to buy neutrals, be it sweaters, it's gone. It's gone. Most times what I do is I have to shop online. And when I shop online, I then go to the store to pick because, hey, neutrals are did you all forget that last year and 2 years ago, it was all about silent luxury or quiet luxury. These things have existed. But all of a sudden, Meghan does it and everyone is like, oh, who dresses that well in the kitchen? Come on, that is a curated space. When we watch bakers on their channels, they are well dressed. There is one I used to follow so many years ago. I think she was Norwegian, and she had the most amazing kitchen. Every item she used matched her nails. So she always went for pastels. Even in winter, she was always doing pastels. I can't remember her. And watching her bake was sweet heaven. It gave you this air of calm and beauty and, space and clarity. It was crazy. She would have pastel mint. She would have mint and her nails would be mint. Her kitchen, everything she's using is the same. Mint. If it was pink, the same. And she always did pastels. It was either beige, it was white, it was pink, it was mint, it was blue. Those were her color combos. And then sometimes she would put a pop of red or sometimes she would put a pop of, black. But her signature were those pastels. I'll see if I can find her. It's been a long time. I was crazy and I don't know how I was crazy over her. So why are we all upset? Why are we all up in arms that Meghan is doing the same thing? Clean aesthetic. Isn't that what we're looking at? Or isn't that what we're looking for? Okay, right. So I think, I think that was a little bit too harsh. And then again, we all forget that she's hosting. Every step of the way, she was hosting. Okay, we're going to talk about the hosting later, but every step of the way, right? And so, was she supposed to dress in tatters to host? Hell no. She was going to dress well. And I loved the linens. Oh my God. I have, well, don't worry, that's another video. I have some new linens. Woo! I've been going crazy over linen. Usually here again, one of those things that you would sell out before you get to the store. Last year I was, I had the store I was going to for linen, and they said they would restock, but they never restocked. And I was like, before I could say Jack Robinson, boom, everything was gone. Okay. Now, what could Meghan improve? Now, I also know that her show has influenced lots of people. Right now on TikTok, I know that there are people who went to buy the pot set, the cruise set. Okay, so my battery, my card was full. Right, so it says on April 8, 1996, her husband, Guest, inherited the title Baron Hayden Guest when his father died. As the wife of a hereditary peer, Curtis is a baroness styled as the Lady Hayden Guest. Curtis does not use this title, saying, "It has nothing to do with me." So, what I'm saying in a nutshell is, Meghan, if you are taking Meghan Sussex, own it, use it well. Again, because it's not matching, right? When people, when you're seeing, when someone is talking to you and like, Meghan Markle, and then you say, oh, it's Sussex now. It's not matching, right? Because again, the whole world knows you're not supposed to be using the royal title. Everyone has heard it. We all know that you're not supposed to be using it. But if you want to use it, well, you have to own it. You have to make it your identity. It's, again, that's what I feel like. You need to own whatever space. You need to own it. If you are going to be Meghan Markle, own Meghan Markle to the fullest and be Meghan Markle. And one thing I always say is, being Meghan Markle does not stop you from being Harry's wife. And being Meghan Sussex doesn't stop you from being, doesn't change anything. You are still the same person, right? How the rules apply to between you and, again, nobody cares. I don't bear my husband's surname. I bear my name, right? But I am married, but I don't bear his name. That's it. It's only when I have to go, when I go to, for administrative, interview or something, and then they feel the need to call me by my husband's name. And all my document, everything I own is, I still bear my maiden name. I don't even, so sometimes they are calling me and I'm not even listening. I'm not, because that's not the name I'm going by. Right? And then they have to tap me like, oh, aren't you? And I'm like, oh, yes, it's my husband. I'm always like, oh, it's my husband's name. I have no animosity towards it. No, it's just the fact that I don't, and my husband doesn't really care either, in all honesty. Doesn't care. Right? It doesn't bother him whatever I bear. If I decide I don't want to bear anyone, he doesn't care. Right? So again, what I'm just saying is own it. Own whatever name you're picking. Own it. And be that person, right? Be that face, if you are going to be stepping out and strutting as a titled woman, step out and strut as a titled woman. Again, you know that you live in the United States, and for you guys, all these royal title things don't, work. So, you have to learn how to marry that to be able to work for you. What else again will I say? Yes, again, I think she also needs, again, I question, there's something I'm questioning. I'm questioning if the producers of the show set her up for this. Again, why? Because I think there were things that they could have done better. You know, that's my sentiment. I feel like there are things that they could have done better, you know, and put together in a more authentic way. So I'm asking, did they set her up? Did they actually, was it intentional for what it is that we are seeing, you know, right now? Was it intentional? Was it supposed to garner this, you know, thing, you know? It's just something that's going on in my mind. She was very friendly with the producers and the directors on set, you know. Like again, and they were the ones asking her questions. You know, I don't know. I feel like there was room for something to have changed there. I don't know, but that's what I'm asking. Did they do this on purpose to create this you know, to create this back and forth? Because again, we all know that drama, you know, makes sales happen. It increases viewership and all that. So maybe, I feel like maybe it was intentional. Maybe that was what they wanted, or that was how they wanted it to go, right? What else again can I say? Yeah, I think I've covered almost everything, right? Where that is concerned. Now, again, her to show her kids or not to show her kids is entirely her prerogative, right? And I'm not going to say, oh, it's just me giving my, you know, 2 cents if it's something that they wish to do. I'm not sure they wish to, but it could work in their favor, you know, in the long run. I mean, notice every time William and Kate step out, especially when it comes to family outings, the gist is always around the kids. See, kids always sell. You know, they're in the public eye, so why not? Yeah, and I think that's it for me. Feel free to add or subtract, you know, from whatever I said. Thank you all once again for being a part of this amazing family, and I'll see you guys in my very, very next video. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.